scarlet blaze. Torment of the eagle and lion. Edelgard succeeds in containing Aire's insurgency, and while she is concerned by the absence of the nefarious Tallus, she prepares her army for the next step regardless. The time is nigh to crush the kingdom and Central Church's growing momentum and put an end to the war once and for all.
I've gathered you here in Garrick Mach because the time has come. We are returning to the front.
Oh yeah, I've been waiting to hear that forever! Let's go wreck things!
For the next phase of our campaign, we'll be working with the Alliance's leader, Claude, to tighten our cordon around the kingdom. Rather than try to advance on the Western Front, we'll join forces with the Alliance and press in from the east.
This means we'll be marching northeast from the monastery and infiltrating Galatea.
I hope we can finally end it this time. I don't think I can deal with doubling back again.
Agreed. This slog has slogged on long enough.
Worry not, friends. I'll not be blindsided twice. I promise you that. We won't rest until all of Fodlan is united. We will fight tooth and nail for it, and we'll do so together.
So, we're finally dusting off our armor and going somewhere, huh? You must really want to end this war if you're letting the two of us loose on the kingdom.
Quite right, Captain Jeralt. We will not accept anything less than the fall of the royal capital. You and your mercenaries will be marching with us. This is not a problem, I trust.
Let's just say I have a history with someone at the capital and leave it at that. But if the time's come for me to sort that out, then so be it. In any case, we're ready to go, right, kid?
We'll earn our keep.
Gotta say, I'm excited to be fighting with you for a change.
We made some headway on the Western Front once the Empire pulled its main force back.
What does it matter when their Minister of Military Affairs still holds Aryan Road? Even if we were in a position to keep throwing troops at those walls, we're never going to crack them.
But if we keep digging our heels in here, their main force will be on us again in no time.
It appears they have already dealt with the insurrection at Fort Mercius. If they don't come at us from the west, they'll soon waltz right in from the east.
Might I offer a suggestion, King Dimitri?
Of course, Lady Rhea.
We should retake Garrick Mach. It is the only way to reverse our current fortunes. If I call upon the Church's faithful, they will come running from every corner of Fodlan to liberate the monastery in the goddess's name. With Garrick Mach under our control, we will be able to keep the Imperial army in check. Additionally, it might convince some of the more fickle Alliance lords to reconsider their loyalties.
I mean no disrespect, Lady Rhea, but this proposal hardly seems...
There is more. As you know, the Bishop of the Southern Church is currently seated at the monastery. If we remove him, it reminds the world anew that Archbishop Rhea is the rightful head of the Church of Seiros. I believe this will shake some of the more devout Adrestian lords from their Emperor's grip.
While their faith may waver now, Adrestia is still the cradle of the Church of Seiros. There are yet many pious believers among their nobility. If we can pull them to our side, it may shift the war back in our favor.
We should strike while the iron is hot. I will get the word out at once.
Hold, Lady Rhea. While I now concede that your plan to retake the monastery has some merit, I must ask that you alert no one.
And why not? I need only say the word, and an army of believers will flock to our cause.
Yes, and the moment the enemy spies people flooding in from across hill and dale, they'll realize what we're planning and bolster their defenses.
You believe their defenses are mightier than the faith of the people? By the goddess, have our enemies truly become so powerful? In that case, what do you propose?
We entrust the eastern lines to houses Karen and Galatea, then ride en masse toward Aryan Road. The enemy will think we intend to assail the Silver Maiden, but instead, we break east.
East? Then we'll be attacking the monastery through the Valley of Torment. I get your thinking now. If we attack from the west, Aryan Road would be at our backs, and the Empire could box us in.
Very well. I have no objections. My church members will assist in guiding your soldiers through ALL. The monastery is holy and precious to us, and by the name of the goddess, I swear, it will be ours again.
Good. Then I'll ready the troops. Lady Rhea, Seteth, I place all of our futures in your hands.
So, this is probably a giant waste of everyone's time. What if we... So, this is...
I have a stratagem.
I have the most brilliant...
What if we tried... So, this is...
I have a stratagem. I shall ensure it is done with no mistakes.
Shall we?
Perhaps I will ask Edelgard to handle this matter. As for this one, it seems as though I have no choice but to do it myself. If only I could spare the time.
Hey, Ferdinand. You should probably think about getting some sleep. That's an order, actually, from Hubert. But I agree with him.
My apologies. My list of responsibilities has grown rather unwieldy of late. Exhausted as I may be, I will be done here shortly. You need not fret.
Ferdinand, come on. I thought you were supposed to be giving everything your all. If you're really that tired, how are you gonna be in any shape for what's coming tomorrow? Go on and give your all to a good night's sleep.
Yes, you are right. How could I, of all people, not realize the error in my ways? I shall take that to heart.
Glad to hear you're coming around. Anyway, good night. Tomorrow's another big day.
Wait.
What's up?
Never mind. Thank you for the concern. I will be sure to convey my gratitude to Hubert later as well.
Don't forget. He's really worried about you, you know.
Is he now? Usually he finds any occasion to criticize me.
Same here.
Is that so? And here I thought he had taken a shine to you.
If he has, he sure doesn't show it.
Before I forget, what would you think about coordinating our schedules tomorrow? I've been so absorbed in my work of late, we've scarcely had the chance to spend time together. I have been pouring all of my effort into rising early, training, eating, and in the process, I have neglected our friendship. As fellow advocates of giving one's all to all of life's pursuits, I say we work together to draw out each other's dormant potential.
Works for me. My schedule's pretty light these days. It'll be good to spend some time together. But just so we're clear, we are not on the same page with this whole giving our all thing.
Splendid! This should serve as all the motivation I need to continue pressing onward undaunted. And with that settled, I believe it is time for us to devote ourselves fully to a tranquil slumber. Come, our lump-riddled camp beds await our zealous efforts.
Okay, this time you are joking, right? It's seriously impossible to tell with you sometimes.
I wonder when I'll be able to return to Enbar.
Greetings, Dorothea. I hope I'm not intruding.
Oh, you're fine. I was just having myself a little think. So, what do you need?
I come with a matter involving the opera company of which you were once a member.
What's wrong? What happened?
Nothing drastic, I assure you. A letter addressed to you arrived, and finding myself with a moment to spare, I decided to deliver it personally. And as I was also hoping to speak with you about the company, the trip serves a dual purpose.
Okay, don't scare me like that, Hubert. I figured something awful had happened since you were coming here in person.
My apologies. Let your heart be at ease. Now then, I wish to discuss the matter of your return to the opera company.
I'm pretty sure I said I wasn't going back.
That is not what I refer to. Well, it is and it isn't. You have no love of violence, and in fact care little enough for it that the mere sight of someone in pain nearly rends your poor heart in two. Further, I am aware that you received numerous invitations to return to the company. Despite that, you continue to remain here on the front lines of the war. I find this choice curious.
Okay, that's a fair point. I honestly have given some thought about returning to the company. Touring across the land with them and using music to heal weary hearts sounds wonderful. And if I did make that choice, it would be a different way to help Edelgard and everyone else. You agree, right?
Indeed. I should think it terribly useful work.
But even so, I can't abandon the actual fight when all of you are still here. The thought of being safe and sound while my friends risk their lives isn't something I'm comfortable with. Does that make sense?
It does. And I even share your feelings to a degree. However, we could always summon your opera company to the front so that you could use your diva talents to motivate our troops. Surely you have considered this possibility?
You really see through everything, Hubie. It's vexing. But fine, there's another reason. I want to support Adi as a commoner. If I were here in the position of an opera diva, I wouldn't be treated like one anymore. I want to be here fighting as a representative of the peasant class. However selfish it might be, I feel this is the best way to help Adi as she tries to erase the gap between nobles and commoners.
Well, this is a surprise. You choose the path of hardship for the sake of your emperor. Truly, I have undersold your resolve.
Oh, but there is one more reason.
Still more?
There are quite a few young nobles here. Dependable ones with quality futures ahead of them. And they're a lot more attractive than the doormats who flutter about us divas in the capital.
Yes, that does seem important. You are stronger than I gave you credit for, Dorothea. And you have earned my respect this day.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Hunger is the true enemy.
Hey, this is great. I bet anyone would love this stuff.
This is pretty good for merc grub. You could learn a thing or two, Leonie.
I could make something as good as this, no sweat. I've been working on my cooking skills, you know.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
This is great. I bet anyone would love this stuff.
Wow, that hit the spot! I'm so glad we're friends!
Someone knows my weakness. Thanks.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
Solid, solid.
For me? Really? Well, that's very kind of you. Let's eat it together.
You've prepared exactly what I desire to eat. I'm glad that you've been paying attention.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
This is great. I bet anyone would love this stuff.
Oh, thanks. Did you know this was one of my favorites?
Oh, but this is just to die for. It's my favorite, really.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy.
This is great. I bet anyone would love this stuff.
Hey, my favorite! You sure know how to brighten a guy's day.
Wait, for me? Great. I love this stuff.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true enemy. Come back whenever you're hungry.
Ah, it's you. How's it going? Any developments to report?
You mean with my power? Not really, no.
Perhaps using it regularly won't be enough to provoke growth. Good to know.
Hey, I thought you said you weren't interested. I mean, how many times are you gonna come ask me if anything's changed before you're happy?
Weren't you the one so keen on piquing my interest? I only wanted to check how that was going. If you don't think it's possible, just tell me and I'll stop asking.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely not happening.
What? But this was all your idea. How cruel of you to stoke my excitement only to back out at the first sign of adversity. Come on, just keep trying a little longer. How about this? Describe the circumstances in which you first awakened to your power. Maybe we can reproduce the situation and see if lightning doesn't strike twice.
Well, I was staring death in the face when it happened. I'd been beaten so badly, I could barely stand. But I kept telling myself I wasn't ready to die yet. Then out of nowhere, it just came to me.
I suppose we shouldn't try to recreate those conditions. Nobody wants a dead officer on their hands. Let's consider some other potentially relevant factors. Who was your opponent? Where did the struggle take place? What time of day was it? Do you think your emotions played any part in it?
I was fighting the Ashen Demon of all people. I'm sure we could arrange another sparring session. As for the when and where, we were in a forest at night. Pretty sure it was a full moon, too. And that leaves my emotional state. But I don't know how I could replicate the intense emotions of being at the brink of death like that.
I see, I see. That context would prove quite tricky to simulate. And if your power functions similar to a crest, revealing itself even when you don't intend it, that leaves only one option. Observing you on the battlefield at all times. This is turning out to be more work than I signed up for.
Hey, weren't you telling me not to give up just a second ago? If I can do it, then so can you.
I'm not so sure.
Hey, how's it going? You been getting enough food?
Definitely. I'm eating way better than I was back in my mercenary days.
You didn't eat so good, huh?
I spent most of my time moving from place to place, so I had to manage on my own. I'd just fling whatever I could get my hands on into a pot. Can't say any of it ever tasted too great.
Wow, I'm surprised you could even live like that. And you never stayed at an inn?
Sometimes, if one happened to be nearby and I had a little extra money lining my pockets. But I never really felt like the food there was any better.
Sounds like you were at all the wrong places then. Nothing fun about a bad meal, I always say. That's why I want my inn to be known far and wide for its delicious food. I was actually hoping to do some cooking out here, too, so I could hone my craft. But I don't think it's going so good. You want to know why?
If I had to guess, it's because you think everything tastes good no matter what.
Hey now, I know the difference between regular old grub and the kind of stuff that gets your mouth watering. See, all the meat and fish we've got in the pantry is preserved. When you're not working with the fresh stuff, nothing you make's gonna have people hollering for more.
You think? But there are dishes from all over the world that use ingredients that are on the verge of going bad.
You sure that isn't because they don't have a choice?
I'm no expert, but I've heard it can make a nice cut of meat even more savory depending on how you prep it.
Huh. Maybe we can learn some more if we ask someone who's from one of those places.
Not to mention, there are other ways of preserving food, too.
You mean, besides dumping salt on everything?
I'm sure you know about smoking your food, right? Things will keep for even longer if you do that after you cure them.
Yeah, but I heard that makes meat all smoky and gross. Kinda defeats the point if you ask me.
I think it depends on how you do it and what kind of wood you use. Apparently, it's really good if you do it right.
Wow, you sure know a lot about this stuff.
My mercenary days showed me more about the world than I could have ever imagined. I only really remember bits and pieces, though.
Come on, don't be so modest. I can't wait to get back in the kitchen with these new ideas you gave me. Hey, speaking of ideas, you want to help me think up some recipes with the stuff we've got here?
I'm not so sure me and cooking mix. But yeah, I wouldn't mind giving it a shot.
That's the spirit. I know we'll come up with some feast-worthy food if we just put our heads together.
Captain!
You again, Leonie? What is it today?
Seeing as you're strong as ever, Captain Jeralt, I was hoping you'd train with me.
Your eyes are playing tricks. I'm an old man. I'd never be able to keep up with you kids at the rate you're improving.
You can't mean that. I'm nowhere near a match for you. But hearing that kind of praise from my hero makes me want to devote myself to training even more.
Aren't you a little old for childhood heroes?
Maybe, but I'm still happy. I worked my whole life to be a mercenary like you, after all. And now I get to fight at your side? Dreams really do come true.
I'm glad. It's not often childhood dreams actually come to pass. I recall you always scampering a few paces behind me as a kid. You'd stare at me and ask all kinds of questions, even when I was clearly too busy to answer.
Well, I was just hoping you'd teach me about martial arts and tactics and that kind of thing. Before your job ended and you left, I mean.
You couldn't have learned much. I wasn't there long. Yet here you are, standing strong and tall. You have no one but yourself to thank for that. You grew up without any guidance from this old captain. I'm glad to call you my apprentice.
Thank you. I promise to make you proud. And one day, I'm going to surpass you. That's my new dream.
That's the spirit.
And I'm not just surpassing you, but your kid, too. I had no idea they were so strong.
Guess the topic never came up when I was in Son. We've both been through a lot.
I'm jealous about all the time you two got to spend traveling together. I bet their strength is due to your instruction.
All I did was teach the basics of merc life. Natural talent's likely behind the swordsmanship and tactical ability.
Which means normal folks like me have to put in 100 times the effort just to catch up.
Don't sell yourself short. I wouldn't have taken you on if you didn't have talent.
Care to make yourself useful?
Counting on you both.
Leave it to me.
Sure, I can help. We all must do our fair share. Care to make yourself useful?
Counting on you both.
Come on, we'll do it together.
Right. Let's get this out of the way.
We all must do our fair share. Care to make yourself useful?
Counting on you both.
I'll do what I can.
Very well. I will join you. We all must do our fair share.
Time to work you into shape.
That should come in handy.
Even a mule will eventually reach its destination.
Hey, anything that makes me stronger.
Hope this is good for something.
This is part of me now.
This is suitable.
Hey, a new power. All right.
I'll put this to good use.
Time to work you. With proper training, you'll be unstoppable.
Well, how'd it go? Any result's a good result.
My instruction comes at a high price.
This should come in handy. I'll remember this. This should come in handy.
A useful skill.
I think I'm getting the hang of this. I think I'm getting the hang of this.
This should come in handy. This should come in handy.
I work to grow.
I am capable of so much more.
Don't neglect your daily studies.
Which battlefield are you headed to?
I've got this.
Who, me? Fine. What's the plan?
The fight starts now. They're not taking...
Got it. Time to make a name for myself.
Here goes. Yeah, I got it.
There's not a question of can. Only a matter of will. Leave this to me.
Taking this from us.
Got it. Time to...
Together, we will turn this disadvantage back in our favor. There's not a question of can. Leave this to me.
Defense... Here it comes! Out of the way! You're done! By my command, march!
Looks like it's time to defend.
A noble does not know the meaning of the word surrender.
We can't let this stronghold fall.
We'll be in a good position if we can capture this stronghold. I'm dragging the others down.
One slip could cost me my life.
Too easy.
real overachiever, aren't you?
Here it comes! You're done! The stronghold's ours! Here it comes! You're done! Not a problem. I'm here to... Hey, it's...
I am your
You know what they say about playing with fire. I'm dragging the others down.
Not a problem. I'm... My strength is yours.
time to make a name for ourselves.
Yeah, all right. Take a breather. Here it comes! You're done! Guard this place with your lives. Here it comes! Out of the way! You're done! I've got it. We can ill afford defeat here.
Retreat!
We shall take up the defense.
Keep your distance next time.
I won't let myself...
I'll master this.
Long story short, the kingdom is preparing to ride west with a huge army. It looks like they're gonna throw everything they've got at Aryan Road.
Yes, we have received similar reports.
It's a pretty strange thing to do. I don't trust it.
Then you believe it to be a feint. Interesting. Well, if true, there are only so many places they could go. They cannot ignore our troops and attempt to take Deirdre. That would be folly. So the only other place I can imagine they would be after is Garrick Mark.
That's what I was thinking. So what's our play?
We can't risk losing the monastery. We'll have to send more troops to defend it. But at the same time, we can't unclench the fist we are trying to bring down on the kingdom. Our only choice is to mobilize the full resources of our regions.
Spoken like a woman with might to spare. I'm afraid we in the Alliance are already at our limits. But hear me out for a second. If the kingdom really intends to attack Garrick Mach, they won't approach from the west. That would put them smack between your forces in Aryan Road and the monastery. It'd be suicide. That leaves them with only one option.
You're saying they'll take the northern approach through Aelel?
Yep, the Valley of Torment, which just so happens to be the route we were planning to use ourselves. The Church of Seiros will likely mobilize every knight they've got, and that is a very big army.
Supposing you are correct, what do you suggest we do in response? Should we change our marching route to avoid clashing with them?
Nope. In fact, I vote we do the opposite. The kingdom will catch on no matter how we try to deploy our troops, so I say let's meet them right there in Aelel.
Interesting. But the valley path is treacherous and difficult to navigate, which will blunt the impact of our superior numbers. Why would we play into the enemy's hands like that?
Because sometimes trying to claim every advantage can be a double-edged sword. Leveling the playing field can often be the key to bringing an opponent down, especially if you know you can handle it. Besides, what better way to keep casualties to a minimum than by finishing them off in one battle?
You know how to convince me. Very well. I can get behind this plan.
Is there anything you would like to add, Hilda? You appear to be deep in thought.
Huh? Who, me? Nah, I'm good. I'm just standing in because Clad asked me to. If it brings the war to an end quicker, I'm all for it.